Welcome to News from Down Home, where I talk about news from Princess Anne, Maryland, Somerset County on the Delmarva Peninsula. It's been called the Eastern Shore for centuries. And this is right after World War One begins, where we enter the war against Imperial Germany, where war is declared. People are being called up. People are afraid of being called up. People are asking to be excused from the war. There's a lot of paranoia, and it's going to turn everybody upside down, uh, and it's a precursor to World War II. So, but life goes on. So now I explained in previous videos how why I consider Princess Anne my hometown. I'll explain again later, some other time, but just watch the previous videos if you'd like to know about the history, about my history there. But the Maryland Herald is the newspaper of record at the time, and this is in June 5th, 1917. And just to show you, in spite of World War One, life is going on. The Washington High School commencement begins. They have that. The graduating class of Washington High School held their class night exercises on Monday evening of the previous week. The weather was bad. A severe thunderstorm was raging at the time. The exercises were to begin. So there only about 100 people were present. So, but the class, went ahead with their program. Then they sang the Star Spangled Banner by the class, and Why We Chose the Red, White, and Blue by Miss Ernestine Belts, Class History by Charles Fitzgerald, Class Prophecy by Miss Frances Alford, Class Will by William Ruark, Class Song by the class. So the exercises concluded with a little play of one act entitled Pa's New Housekeeper, at which Mrs. Henrietta Fitzgerald and Neil DeShiel and Messrs. Stuart Miles, Charles Fitzgerald, and William Ruark gave a sparkling rendition. So Mr. J.R. Gentry announced that as the weather was so unfavorable, the play would be repeated after the regular commencement exercises the next evening. So the commencement exercises themselves took place on Tuesday evening when the auditorium was filled with a fine audience, it says. So now, at the same time, there was tragedy, there was sorrow. Mrs. Cassius M. DeShiel was dead. She was one of the community's a big influence in the community. Mrs. Ada DeShiel, the wife of Mr. Cassius M. DeShiel, died at her home on Beckford Avenue Monday afternoon of the previous week. She was aged 67 years, 3 years younger than me. Mrs. DeShiel had been ill health for several months, and before her marriage, she was Miss Ada Rose, daughter of the late William H. and Louisa Rose of Baltimore. So she was an important person. She was prominent in church, social, and literary circles of Princess Anne. In every one of those, her counsel and assistance were always asked, and from her, they always met with cheerful and active response. So she was a very busy person, and very helpful. Now, people like that sometimes get a bad rap because people will say, well, they're busybodies or they're always in everybody's business and stuff like that. This is a person who was doing for her community, who was contributing to her community. And I think it's a good example for us, a good example to set. Now, I want to continue talking about things that are happening in Princess Anne. We're getting to some very, very powerful news stories that are going to be, might even be shocking to you. So, hope you'll continue to watch my News from Down Home series. And again, when next time or the time after, I might go over again my connection to Somerset County, Maryland, and its history. Thank you, and have a good day.